Last time on Hero Squad, Under the Dragon Shadow.
So as you head into the entrance of the Whispering Rock, it's a sort of steep, kind of spirally ramp staircase kind of thing. As you get deeper, you start to see some light kind of pouring in to this spirally staircase. Right here, as you entered in, there is a little bit of kind of a balcony space, 4 doors, whole bunch of rubble. This little trail of light, a giant structure. It could be a door. You can see essentially four digits in that wing. One of those bones is lit up the same color as this light. You see the guy that you chased down here. 2 dudes. There's another bandit kind of over here. And then finally there's another one back here.
I'm going to use Cunning Action.
I'm going to Misty Step.
I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery on number 3.
And
then I laugh.
You have cleared the room of enemies.
On the continent of Khorvaire, a chance encounter brought 4 intrepid travelers together on the road to adventure. Though they began as strangers, they soon became known as the Hero Squad.
Everybody has, we did a short little rest. People expended a whole bunch of their hit dice in order to get their HP back. How's everybody looking?
I'm back
I
to full.
am full.
Rick's at full?
I
Christina's
look
at full?
fantastic.
You look fantastic?
Are you at full?
What's your health like?
Yeah, I'm at full.
You're at full? All right.
I'm at close to full.
Close to full?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So everybody's looking good. Let's return to this room, right? Now you've got a little more time to look around. You see, obviously, there's the giant dragon door. There is the little font, like the little kind of like path of light that kind of heads out from the one door and heads up there. From each of the other doors, as you might expect, you can see little channels in the ground that come from them, but there's no light emanating from them. Okay. Like I said, the one door over there is open. The other 2 doors appear closed.
I kind of want to know what's behind this one. I don't want to go and do this huge puzzle knowing that there might be more people down that road.
Yeah, let's go explore that open door.
Let's go through the open.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd feel better knowing that there's nothing else here to attack us.
All right.
Is there like a door that closes and it's just open, or is it just like an open door?
As you're walking in, it appears as if, yes, there is a door of some sort that kind of is made of stone that kind of slotted into the walls. So there's
like
some kind of mechanism.
Doors.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, above each of the doorways, like as you're walking in, there are like little intricate little kind of designs and whatnot. And so above this one, you can see kind of like an etching of like rain falling on like a plain. So like kind of like green grass and whatnot because it's kind of like chalked on there kind of thing. All right. So you go into that hallway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's not too long of a hallway. You kind of like head down, maybe like 30 feet, take a left, another 30 feet, and you enter into a little room. In this room, in front of you, what you see now, all the way through here, you have seen there's the signs that bandits have been kind of exploring within here. As you head in, you do not see any bandits,
except for the dead one that flew in there.
Except for the dead one that flew in. Like, yeah, he's just on the ground.
His body took all those turns and everything.
No, he as you're walking through it, he's kind of like stuck on a spike that is like right on the farthest wall. So Mordecai launched him at full force.
I turned to Mordecai. I was like, maybe that was a bit much.
That was 90% gravity. So you come into this room, and what you see is the area that you're standing in is stone, but is kind of covered in a little bit of moss. There's rushing water pouring through in kind of like a little channel right next to you. On either side of it, you can see that there are some kind of floodgates that are currently up. And on the far side, the ground there is kind of like a transparent, almost like quartz looking type thing, but you can see through it a little bit.
What's underneath it?
And okay, so you go over and look over at what?
I want to see what's under the transparent floor.
Okay, so you kind of step to the edge of the stony area, and you're kind of like looking over, and the transparent zone seems empty right now. Like you can look through it and you can see stone and whatnot beneath it. It appears to be a channel kind of equal to the size of the one that you're looking at below you, the one that's kind of like rushing by you. Will you roll a perception?
Can I quickly ask, how do we know it's a transparent floor? Like, is it invisible or is it
No, transparent. Like it's not like invisible, but it's just like
shimmering.
translucent.
Yeah, translucent. Okay.
19.
19. Okay, so as you're looking over at that floor, you also see down below you in the water something glowing. It's a bright blue, something glowing. You can see, it's hard to make out, but something down there. And Atlas, you start to feel like a little itch on your shoulders.
Interesting.
Sorry, on your back.
So what I want to do is I want to take some time while everybody's looking, and I want to sit down and start casting clairvoyance. It's going to take me 10 minutes.
Okay, what's
but
that
I
gonna do?
want to basically put a little bubble. So basically what it does is you create an invisible sensor within range to a location familiar to you or a place you have visited or seen or anything unfamiliar. It can go up to a mile, so it's pretty far. And I can place a sensor that either sees or hears. And I want to basically place a sensor near whatever, as close as I can to that light that we're seeing.
Okay.
So that you can see it better?
So I could see it.
Yeah.
Okay,
it
it's going
takes
to cost
10
you 10 minutes to set this up? Okay, so you're doing that. What's everybody else want to do?
Okay, so beyond the transparent floor with the thing that's glowing underneath it, sorry, what else is, anything else on the walls or anything like that?
Well, actually, like right behind you, like you walked in the door and you like look above the door, there's actually like a little kind of crystal that's kind of mounted on the top of the doorway. And you also notice kind of mural work all around. And almost on cue, like as you look at that mural work, you guys start to hear the whispers again. And they're kind of like, they start out kind of like, hello.
Hello?
Hello?
Welcome. This will be your history lesson.
History of what?
This is the story of what was. Long ago, in the Age of Balance, the Dragons of Order, who followed the teachings of Eberron, held dominion over all of the lands. And as you're hearing this, the kind of murals are lighting up, kind of illustrating these things. Ensuring the balance of the primal elements to protect all beings that were touched by Eberron's light. For a time, peace was all that the land of Eberron knew. And at the end of the mural, a little kind of, you can see another one of those little channels going along the wall, and it heads down into the water.
Is that where I'm trying to do that thing at?
Yes, where you're trying to do the thing.
Okay.
What I'll also say is that you do notice that there are, with these giant floodgates and everything, there are some like mechanical arms and whatnot. And Rhaegar, roll like a knowledge check.
20.
Wow.
Natural 20.
So when you're looking in the water, you actually notice like every now and then like a fish or something go by. And you put two and two together and you realize that this is the river water. The river that no longer flows through the canyon is running beneath your feet right now.
You guys, there's fish in this. This is the river. The river that's disappeared from the surface.
Oh.
I have no idea how it got down here.
Why is it down here?
Can I roll to see how deep this is?
Sure.
14?
It's about 15, 20 feet.
Okay. And
The water is rushing very quickly.
Can I tack on to that perception? I'm sorry. Are there any stairs or anything?
So as
going
you're
down?
looking down at the water, you can see stairs that would head down into the river. It's kind of hard to see, right? Because the water's rushing by like little rapids and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's not something that you would necessarily want to just jump into.
Right.
But you can see that, yeah, it does appear that there are stairs down there.
So, we got the floodgates. We've got this empty channel. I think we need to divert the river, sort of drain this area, and possibly activate whatever this light is down there.
Okay. Interesting. I guess perception as well. Do I see any lines that would not be illuminated in this room that look similar to the lines that we saw in the previous room?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the channel, I would imagine.
Yeah,
That's the channel on the wall.
goes down. And, yeah.
Okay. So you said there's floodgates. Does it look like we just need to close those, do you think?
I have no idea which way to turn them in order to lower the floodgates, but I figure we solve this puzzle and then we get down there and start pushing buttons or twisting.
I'll take a crack at it. Lefty-loosey, right?
Right.
I interject. It's like, can we continue our history lesson while you guys are working this out?
So as you do that, so your clairvoyance is now active. You can see, essentially, almost like to you, it's almost like suddenly the river is clear, like glass, right? You know it's still there rushing by, but you can see perfectly down to the bottom. And so what you do see, Christina, is that you see that, yes, there is this little orb looking kind of thing, this little blue crystal orb kind of deal. And around it, more etchings, more murals.
What are the murals of?
So what you can see are like a black dragon. You see all kinds of little like demons and creatures and monsters kind of circling around the orb.
Is it actually etched on the orb, or is it on the mural on the wall?
It's all around it on the floor.
On the floor,
like on
okay.
the floor. So like if you were to be looking down at it, you would see it like
So it's not like a riverbed underneath that. It's like a floor.
It's like a floor.
Okay.
Yes. That's what you see.
So there's a black dragon with demons encircling around it. Is there nothing up above it?
When you look up, no. When you look up, all you see is like it's sort of a continuation of the other mural. And so it's one huge dragon that's kind of white and yellow with wings outstretched across the whole thing, kind of like looking down on you. You just gonna go knock those things down?
Yeah.
Just start turning,
I was
bud.
to start lefty-loosey.
All right, you start turning these things, and lo and behold, one of those giant floodgates down to the ground, and the water slowly starts to drain out.
Any fish flopping around?
No fish flopping around. And what you can see is that the water is now diverted going through that quartz kind of pathway.
Oh, okay.
And as soon as that happens and it's going around, you hear the voice again. What was? While Eberron lived in order, her brother Kyber bred chaos and discovered the draconic prophecy, and soon they were locked in conflict. In the end, it was Cerberus who fell, but Eberron wrapped herself around Kyber, relegating him and his followers to the shadows. So what you see is the mural that was on the ground now actually kind of starts to animate a little bit. And all of the murals around you start to sort of move around. And so what you see is all that stuff in the middle, like on the walls, they start like running along the walls around you. And then the stuff that's on the ground starts running up the walls and around, and they're kind of swirling around beneath you. And then the dragon that's above you flexes its wings out and explodes and disappears from the ceiling. Just like a bunch of light kind of gets scattered all around. And then you see the two dragons kind of locked back and forth, circling around you above the ceiling.
Yo, this is like that time I ate those bad mushrooms.
Yeah, it is.
Sound like good mushrooms to me.
I mean, it depends. I mean, this is kind of freaking me out.
Do you feel nauseous at all?
No, I don't think I ate bad mushrooms. I think that maybe...
No, I'm seeing it too.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to be sure. I was like, maybe there's something in these boots. I don't know.
I mean, you're seeing dragon swirling in the ceiling, right? Because that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Do any of the murals from down there in where my clairvoyant sensor is, do they change as well?
Yeah, they climbed up onto the wall.
Okay, so they're just gone now?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're all swirling around above you, essentially.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess we should get down there.
Let's
Take these stairs on down and see what this
step on down.
light's all about.
I'm making a note in my journal that's like, make magical moving murals for the show. Really cool.
All right. So,
All right.
Atlas,
Yes.
every step that you take as you get closer to the orb, you feel the itch on your shoulders more and more.
Rigger, why don't you go up in front of me?
You sure?
Sure.
Okay, bud.
All right, I go down the stairs. I'm standing in front of the light.
It's an orb. It's a
An orb.
little sphere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it like the Cheesema?
A little bit like the Cheesema.
This thing.
Not quite the same. Maybe like smaller, but
This thing's like a Cheesema Junior right here.
Yeah, it's interesting. Are you holding it? Are you trying to touch it?
I'm gonna try to turn it, I guess. Isn't that what the dragon did? He put it on and, or she clicked it.
Yeah.
Gonna start.
So you're trying to turn everything. It's not really moving.
Oh, it's really stuck in there.
Can you lift it at all?
Covered in
Lick
butter.
it?
Lift it.
Oh,
Nope, not moving.
you know you're the dragonborn apparently. Maybe
Yeah,
you need to be
should
doing
touch
this. Come on.
All right.
Here.
I'm like itching my back as I'm getting closer, and I grab onto the thing.
As soon as you touch it, a light shoots down from straight through the ground and starts going up along the wall in the channel, hits the crystal above the door. It lights up super bright. It shatters, and it starts to rain in the room.
I freak out. I scream, and I let go.
Okay.
Does it still do?
It's still raining.
Okay.
But it's shattered.
And the light inside of the crystal itself seems to have disappeared.
Okay.
What'd you do?
I touched it. Is
Normally
my
I
back
would-
still itching?
When the light kind of like shot out of there, it almost felt like a burn.
Okay.
And then now it's dissipated.
Okay.
I'd like to run back up the stairs. I want to run out the hallway
Run out the
and
hallway?
see if the
Okay.
channel's lit up.
Yeah, yeah.
So you run out, and as you're running out, you do see the channel is lit up.
Great.
And it leads back to that giant dragon wing door, and another one of those bones is lit up, and you hear a rumbling as door number 2 swings open.
Say this one's
That
door number
one.
2?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
You guys, the channel is lit up. You did,
we
it,
do
bud.
All right.
How's your back feeling?
It's a little... Yeah, I'll be all right.
We need to get you some salve.
Yeah.
Got
When we get into the main room, I just want to know what like mural is above the one with the rubble.
So as you walk in, you look above it, and you can see that it has... it's essentially rock and fire and kind of earth, like greenery, kind of like forged together.
Oh, it's
In
a
like a
creation
sphere.
story. Okay.
So then,
We make our way to
y'all
door
all
number
have
2.
door number 2.
Creation of the world, and then
Maybe
gods.
the oceans? Creation of the oceans?
maybe. Yeah. Well, we'll find out when
So
what
just
we learn in the
just
next one.
because y'all would know this. Essentially, what you just saw was the Eberron creation story, but like the kind of like the later parts of it. So it wasn't the creation of Eberron, Khorvaire, and Sybaris, but it was about their conflict, which everybody would know. It's like
Okay.
a classic
Oh, right.
story.
Yeah.
And that's what the elements represent.
So
is
we
the three.
all know this then, right?
You should know, that
Okay,
story.
so Sybaris. Okay, I'm obviously just
So just as a
inferring
refresher,
Eberron is the white dragon.
Yeah, to refresh everybody, Eberron is the dragon that becomes the earth. Khorvaire is the bad dragon that becomes like the underworld, and Sybaris sort of sacrificed herself in the fight so that Eberron could trap Khorvaire. And Sybaris is sort of representative of the heavens.
What color is Sybaris?
That was the kind of like golden light one.
Golden.
Yeah.
The one that was above
Yeah.
the white and yellow.
And then Eberron you could probably think of as kind of more like green and blue and brown, kind of earthy.
Okay.
And then Khorvaire is black. Okay. So you head into the new room.
Yeah.
We head into room
All right.
number 2.
So you're walking into this room, and there are no signs of banditry in here because this door seems like it hasn't been opened in centuries.
So we steal everything.
And as you are walking through here, you start to hear some kind of like crackling noises.
All of us have night vision, but is there any lights at all?
Yes. So as you're coming around the corner, you do see kind of like light, kind of crackling. You see like lightning essentially arcing across the ceiling from this sort of like a hanging like device. Every now and then, just like little crackles, like just all over the place. So let me describe the room. So you walk in, and what you see in the center, similar to before, is an orb. But instead of it being like below, it's actually hanging from the ceiling. All right. Below it, there is a little, like a plinth that's empty. And you actually see a beam of light kind of casting into the center.
Okay.
When you looked at the where that beam of light is coming from, there's actually like a little crystal on a stand, and the light is red. And you see that there's actually a tiny little pinhole above that's allowing light to come in from somewhere else.
Yeah.
You don't know if it's sunlight, probably not, because it was night when you got in here. But some kind of light is coming through down, reflecting into this little crystal and being cast into the center.
Okay.
It is also casting light directly behind it onto the wall, where you see another mural.
Yeah.
So, as you walk in, the tale of man and dragon. What is and what could be.
Hello.
After the war
can't talk
between the
back.
progenitor dragons, mankind and dragons once again found harmony. Working together, they thrust the world into an age of prosperity. Weaving technology and magic together, mankind soon had the power to control the world and had no more need of dragons to lead them.
I don't like it.
So what you also see throughout the room are two more of those little kind of like crystal stations, right? One of them, there's light pouring down onto it, but you can't see a crystal anywhere. The other one, the crystal is there, but there's no light kind of to be seen coming down on it. But you do see some light kind of casting in from like off in the distance somewhere. So that's what you currently are seeing.
So I come in here, I proudly say, I saw this in a play. Velenar Jones, we just gotta light this crystal up. Brittany, do you have your mirror?
I was just gonna say, I was gonna pull out my mirror and try and like do the Legend of Zelda in like the temple.
Sure, yeah.
and reflect the light.
I just want to go ahead and say, I had this whole thing in my head of like, okay, I'm gonna have to like find them a mirror. I'm gonna have to like direct them towards a mirror. Of course, Brittany's got a mirror. This is great.
I've got a mirror.
I've got a mirror too in my thieves kit.
I actually think I might have a mirror.
Mike, everybody has a mirror. Everyone has a mirror.
You got a shiny shield.
Yeah.
I was figuring you'd use your shield. Yeah.
I don't have a mirror.
Okay.
I pull out my mirror.
So you just pull out your mirror.
yeah,
All right.
and I go up to the
You
light.
go up
So
and
I made
Velenar
it.
Jones it?
Yep.
Yeah, there's that light that's kind of casting off, and you kind of like shine it through and into the crystal. And after like a little bit of kind of fudging with it, light casts through it into the center and starts to cast out against the wall again. No voice this time, but more murals, and all the murals that you've seen so far, and you guys can all see all of the murals because you have night vision, so you can already see around the whole room, is that they're just essentially like representations of dragons and mankind kind of working together, and some of the big inventions that mankind has made. And so it's just kind of like the binding of elementals and all kinds of stuff. You could see the history
Things
of
like airships
of
and-
Eberron's technology. No airships.
Okay.
And no
Are any of
rail line, right?
Okay.
So it looks a little ancient, a little bit
Okay.
older, but you're still aware of this kind of stuff.
Are any of the dragons and humans kissing?
None of them are kissing. Some of them are like holding hands and stuff.
Are any of the dragons and dragons kissing?
No comment.
I turn to Marikai and ask her if she's okay as we're looking at these elementals that are being bound in the murals.
I'm used to it.
Okay.
Thanks for asking, though.
I got you.
So, one last plinth. No crystal to be found.
No crystal to be found. I'm betting the crystal's up there in that lightning thing. Maybe.
Maybe. You're the tall one. Can you reach it?
Why don't you just fly up there and get it?
Oh.
No wings, Brittany.
Oh, aren't you a little itchy? Maybe your wings will just pop out.
Why don't you just fly up there with those big old ears, Brittany?
Wow.
I'm busy holding the light that's shining into the crystal. I've already done my job for this room. It's time you do yours.
Christina, roll a perception.
Oh, no, badly.
Nothing? Okay.
No. That was 7. Though I do ask Marikai, you're good with electricity, are you not? Could you divert the electricity so we could probably get up there and see if there's a crystal?
Sure. What do you want me to do?
Well, is there a crystal up there or not? Like, we need to find out. Maybe you could just divert the energy so that
I'm
we
worried
can
that if I touch that thing up there, I'll just get shocked and maybe die. Are you able to touch that thing and not die?
maybe ground it.
She pulls out her sword. I'm kind of waving the sword around for people who are listening.
Yeah.
Just kind of like... And then suddenly, bolts from the top launch into the sword, and it's like a huge arc, and she sort of like catches it and kind of like it like
a
launches her
lightning rod.
back a little bit. And then, yeah, just above the plinth, not where you guys were looking at, but just above the plinth, crystal sort of like dislodges and falls.
Oh.
Catch it, Atlas.
Is it actually falling, or
It's falling.
is it in the? Okay.
Catch it.
Then yeah, I'll attempt to catch
All right,
it.
roll a dexterity.
Okay. It's a 4 total.
So you kind of, and you like knock it away.
Catch it right here.
I jump in. That's 12 plus 16.
All right.
Well, do you have your shoes on?
do you
or
have your
not?
boots on?
15.
He leaps out of his boots and catches the crystal midair. So basically, you passed it over to him.
Gotcha, bud.
Okay.
All right, so you now have the third crystal.
Okay. Socket that into the
Yeah.
plinth.
Socket it to me. I socketed it in.
All right, so you pop it in there. The light that is above it casts straight down through it. You see a third light kind of shoot into the center there, and another light kind of behind you that casts on the mural that was there. And as soon as that happens, as soon as those 3 lights meet in the center, suddenly the room starts to get lighter, brighter, 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 brighter. It's getting really bright, blindingly bright.
Oh God.
So we're gonna explode,
I put my
guys.
sunglasses on.
I
And
help Marakai up, and we start walking.
suddenly arcs of lightning are shooting all across the ceiling.
Okay.
And then they crackle and they crash together, and thunderous noises and a huge shockwave and explosion, and then darkness. And suddenly all the murals along the wall look different. Think sort of like blacklight. Like there's stuff there that once wasn't. And so now you see these other images, and the voice comes in again. Tale of man and dragon, what is and could be. The dragons of chaos, hiding for centuries, began to whisper in the ears of man. And so you see these dragons sort of like sneaking around people. And soon turn them against one another. As the world fell into shadow, the power of darkness spread across the land. And without the dragons of order, mankind was doomed to fall.
So
And then another orb falls from the ceiling, lands in that central plinth,
Okay.
and you see another light shoot out and run along a channel along the wall.
Channel. Okay.
And then above the door, you see that there was a crystal there that shattered during that thunderous event.
Hey guys, when this is all over, we should market this place. People would pay money to see this show.
Just put a hot springs in here.
Right in the middle of the
Yeah.
temple. We can divert that river,
Warm it
The
up.
town's already attempting to. I mean, it's just going to be a matter of trying to get the whispers to not drive you crazy as you get here.
Just some of these amulets, baby. Mass produce them.
Well, maybe if we solve the mystery of the temple, the voices will go away. Maybe what they're hearing are just the voices from this educational temple.
are we not sure that this might be a temple to the dragons of chaos, like the story mentioned?
We're not sure, but we have to keep going, I guess.
I'm gonna leave you to the marketing. I've got bigger problems in my hands right now.
I might be able to make us some good money.
Your back was itching again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did it burn
Same
again?
deal, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to go touch the orb?
I don't have to this time.
I know you don't have to, but what if
No.
you do?
Alice, I'm curious. Your dragon mark, do you think it might be burning or getting bigger?
I can't see it. I've never seen it my whole life.
Well,
Turn around, man.
Turn around and take off your shirt.
Everybody's got a mirror. Have you not seen this thing? We're going to show it to you right now. Everybody, produce your mirrors. All right, turn around, buddy. You hold one of the mirrors, all right?
There you
Here.
go.
There you go. All right.
then
Me and Christine are going to get behind you.
I take off my shirt.
Okay.
Woo!
So
La la.
your dragon mark is glowing bright.
Whoa.
Normally it looks kind of like a tattoo. It's almost like, you're not sure what it is, right? Like anybody could have this. But right now it is glowing, like it is emanating light.
You guys have seen it before. Does it always look like that?
No, this is new, man. What do you think,
Do we
though?
still
Pretty
see
cool.
like the scars from his wings?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Are
they're
those
healed.
glowing as well?
No, they're not.
Okay.
Mystery's over. What do you think?
Looks kind of like a badass tattoo that I don't
Yeah.
remember getting.
Yeah.
All right.
But it is glowing, so we should
Yeah,
probably be aware of that.
kind of burning as well. So not great. So no, I'm not going to touch the orb.
All right.
There you go.
So you guys return into the main hallway.
Yep.
Yes.
Yet again, another of the...
Brittany touches the orb.
Nothing happens.
I just had to make sure.
Actually, no, you get like a little static shock.
Your hair starts.
Yeah.
Yeah, your hair.
Yeah, you come out and your hair is just frizzy as hell.
I feel like all of our hair is probably a bit frizzy coming out of it.
Yeah.
Not Marikai's.
No, Marikai's.
Because it always is.
Yep.
It's always crackly.
All right, next room.
So that's 3 out of the 4
Yep. So,
light channels.
Once again, the other door across from you opens up.
Ooh.
Above that one, you can see the symbol of fire.
Okay. We make our way.
Make your way in.
Yep.
All right. Y'all head into this room. As you come around the corner, you see a giant forge.
Okay.
In front of this forge, there are lots of big kind of like barrels, and you see big old piles of what looks kind of like, there's obviously like scrap metal and stuff, but then there's like these like salts and all kinds of like chemicals that you would use maybe in smithing or something, maybe alchemy, who knows. But as you walk in, the other thing that you see is above the forge, right? So the forge is think of it almost looking like a pizza oven, like it's in the wall. And it does have a chimney. And above that chimney, you see a large crystal. That's kind of like the spherical one, kind of like the orbs that you guys have been dealing with. Around that, there are 4 more smaller orbs. And those have channels that lead into the forge itself.
Okay.
As you walk in, the voice comes in again. The tale of the blade of balance. What must be? To combat the creeping darkness, the greatest of mankind forged an alliance with extraplanar beings, elementals, and celestials to gain the upper hand. All the while, the dragons of order were nowhere to be found.
The blade of balance.
Interesting. And they forged an alliance with all these other beings, but not the dragons themselves.
And so what you see across there is you do see people, and you see elementals. There's genasi and stuff, but then actually like true elementals.
Yeah.
And you also see kind of like angels and other celestial beings. And you see them all kind of united around in the middle. And then there's this very intricate looking dagger, kind of golden in color, curved in form. It has little kind of gemstones kind of wrapped all around it, very intricate inlays running up it that look a lot like the dragon marks. It's a very well crafted looking blade in this depiction. That's what you see.
Do each of the people, the elementals and the celestials, do they all indicate like one of the materials that's on the ground? Or
No.
in those barrels?
No, they don't seem to do that. Although what you do notice, actually, roll a perception.
That's 20.
Okay. So what you do notice is
Extra
that
21.
there does only seem to be the use of like 4 colors in repetition. Right? And it's
On the murals or?
on the murals. Yeah. And so like you just keep seeing this pattern, red, blue, yellow, green, red, blue, yellow, green, red,
Okay.
blue, yellow, green, over and over again.
Can I take a look at the forge and see if there's like any kind of cast or anything within it? That's 17.
So
18,
what you see is you do see like 4 little kind of like forges cups. The kind of things that like you would put little stuff into, put it into the forge, heat it up, and you do see some sort of like ingot casts, like little like places where you could cast an ingot. There's those.
Do we see a mold or anything for the sword of whatever, the dagger?
You don't see a mold. Okay.
No.
But are each of the materials, are they indicated by the color that we're also seeing? Like in the places where they're being held, is there like some type of like color significance that we would know?
There doesn't seem to be anything along those lines. No.
Okay.
But
Gives
is
you
there,
that
I guess,
information.
this question, is there only 4 materials for us to use?
Yes.
Okay. And then lastly, is there fuel for the forge?
The forge is going.
The forge is on.
The forge is going.
Okay.
And it's very hot.
Okay.
Actually, every now and then, kind of like a spark will like kind of pop out.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, popping, cracking. And one little spark actually does land over on one of those big piles of salts. And you see that when it hits, it actually gives off blue smoke.
Got it. Oh. Okay. Then I gather some salt and put it into one of the cups. Or
Okay.
whatever. Yeah.
Which salt though?
The salt that was blue when it got hit by a spark. And
But
then
we need red first.
so you think we have to do that in order?
Well, that's the pattern that we've recognized: red, blue, yellow, green. So we have to do it in that
But
order.
there are 4 orbs that we can
Right.
place these in. So
Yeah.
I think that we can just forge them independently, and then we just put them in order after they're forged.
Right.
That's a good idea. So I grab a pinch of the next salt that I see, and I just kind of like throw it in the flames just to see what color it
Okay,
is.
so yeah, you throw the next salt in, yellow.
Awesome. Okay, so this one's yellow.
Okay.
Let's get the next one.
And
I throw it in.
The next one, red.
Right.
Okay, and then the last one obviously is going to be green. So let's each of us take our.
Did you throw the last one in?
Yep.
Well, I mean,
So you throw the last one in, it does not create smoke.
Oh,
Okay.
And how many? There's only 4 jars of salt?
Yeah, there's only 4, they're piles, there's just giant piles.
I have an idea. I grab a little bit of the yellow and the blue.
Yeah.
And I mix them together, and then I throw in the fire.
Green.
Jasmine.
Big brain on Christina.
Christina, look at
Who's Jasmine?
So,
You guys got pet names or something? That's weird.
so knowing that,
She's the jazz man. Do you hear her with the kazoo?
little known nickname. So yeah, I guess this one equal parts. Make sure we get it. Make sure it's green.
Yeah. So equal parts, and so we dispense that into the 4 cups, and then put them into the forge.
All right, so you put them into the forge. Yeah, they start heating up and bubbling, right? Lots of smoke kind of pouring out.
Is it toxic to us?
No.
Okay.
And, as you see it, it kind of like, bubbles up over kind of like the giant crystal. And you can see like a little bit, like every time the kind of smoke kind of like hits the ceiling and whatnot, it sort of reveals a mural and then it disappears, right?
Okay.
So it hits it and then it goes away. So now these are molten metals.
And I take one of them, say the blue one, and I pour it into one of the molds for the ingots.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you pour the blue one into one of the molds for the ingots. Which mold? There's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Do they look different in shape?
They do not look different in shape.
But
Second
are they different in, like, is there something differentiating the molds, or do they look identical?
They look identical.
Okay. They're just in order of 1, 2, 3, 4.
So we
Then-
should do it in
2.
the flashing light. That
Okay, so what was the color order then?
it was
Red,
red, blue, yellow,
green,
green.
Yellow, green, yeah.
Yeah. So
Red,
which
blue.
one did you pull out?
So I have blue, so I should put that into the second mold.
Yes.
And I pour that into the second
Okay.
mold.
So you pour it into the second mold. The mold fills, and you can see the metal actually kind of like it fills up, and it's almost like a little channel breaks in the mold, and the metal starts to pour into this little kind of slot, and then you actually see it come down from the ceiling from a channel into one of those orbs above you.
Okay.
That orb, the second orb, fills with this metal, lights up blue, and you see a little line kind of extend from that over to the crystal.
Cute.
Interesting.
I guess everybody grab another one.
All right, I grab my red one.
So that's the first one.
Do the same. Put it
Okay.
in this first slot.
Same thing happens. Red one on the left.
I grab the next one, which is yellow.
Yellow. You pour it into the
Pour it in.
Okay.
third one.
I do the last
Same deal?
one.
Green.
Green.
All right.
Green.
Same deal. So as you do that, those 4 orbs, they then start to glow hotter than they were before. Bright, bright, bright. They kind of pop, and the metal all pours into that central crystal. And once again, you see it starting to be kind of affected, and it bursts into flames. And as it does, another orb comes firing out of it and kind of like slams into the ground in front of you. And it's this bright, glowing red orb, just like the other orbs that you've
I
seen
jumped
before.
back in surprise. That was not
enough.
prepared for that.
Fair enough.
Touch the orb.
Is that all that happens?
Yep. And now there's this bright, glowing red orb right in front of
I
you.
wouldn't touch it. It looks like it
Like,
could be hot.
I put my hand close to it. Is it hot?
No.
I attempt to touch it.
All right. You touch it. Your back starts to burn again. And smoke starts billowing out of it, bright red smoke, covering the ceiling. And as it does, it unearths a second mural.
Cool.
And you hear more, the voice once again. With the aid of the elementals, a blade was forged with the power of the primal elements. In the hands of an agent of order, the primal elements would restore the balance to the land. But in the hands of an agent of chaos, the primal elements would be corrupted and spoiled. And so you can see the mural, much like the first one did, how it kind of animated. This one, you first see the blade kind of get picked up by sort of a warrior of light, and you see kind of like brightness kind of spread out, and you see kind of green return to the land, and then you see that same warrior turn black, and then suddenly shadow creeps over the land, and then lastly, giant dragon's wings kind of run across it, and then the smoke dissipates and the mural is gone. You turn towards a door, and the crystal above that door bursts into flames, and the light travels along the channel out to the main hallway.
I start booking it.
Yeah.
I'm like running. I'm so excited to go see what's going on in this room.
Okay.
I saunter.
So, you head into this room, and as the light travels up the kind of bony finger of the dragon, you hear kind of like a really loud like rumbling as the dragon's wing slowly starts to like pull itself back. So lifts the whole wing up into the air, and behind it you see a giant dragon's head made of stone. Through this dragon's head you can see clearly another pathway that you can travel along.
Let's go.
And this skull, this giant, scully looking thing, should remind you quite a bit of the temple below the sea.
Okay. You guys down to walk through a dragon's mouth?
After you,
What are our chances we're going to meet another one of those? What's her name?
I definitely don't remember.
keeper of the green.
Sure. Do you
Yeah.
think there's like a keeper of the crazy?
Keeper of the Whispers.
The keeper of the whispers. There we go.
If anything, yeah, this is the person that's whispering.
Oh, because I'm curious, I just slipped the amulet off to see if I can hear
Okay.
whispers.
You slip the amulet off.
And
Nothing.
Dreyfia.
Silence.
Yo, there's no whispers anymore.
We solved the whisper puzzle?
I don't know about that, but
Da-da-da-da.
All right,
there's definitely no whispers down here. You can take off your amulets.
take off the amulet.
I keep mine. I don't trust it yet.
All right,
I put mine in my bag.
pocket mine.
I keep mine.
So you move into the next area, and so there's got a little bit of a hallway, but you end up in another room. Looks sort of like almost like a waiting room kind of thing. It's like little chairs and things, clearly.
Exactly. There's waiting room.
And there's 3 doors around you. The one in front of you, very ornate, wide open, and as you peer into it, you can see another plinth like the one that you saw before. And on that plinth, you can see another orb, a lot like the Chisma,
Okay.
except this one is blue, where the Chisma was green.
Okay.
To your left and to your right, 2 more doors, sealed. But above each of the doors, you can see murals again that sort of tell you maybe what's in there, right? The one on your left has a book. The one on your right has an egg.
Oh.
Are we going to go egg door or book door?
As you walked into this room as well,
Yeah.
the voice returned. The alliance with the Celestials provided a different solution. A new dragon, born of the stars, who would return whenever needed to clear the land of shadow.
That's you.
I'm not a dragon.
Oh, you got wings
Oh,
though.
but you got a baby.
So, what are you guys gonna do?
Let's go egg door.
Egg door. Door.
But it's closed.
It's sealed.
Can I?
Let's
Can
go.
you pick the lock?
Can
Is
you
there a
present
lock?
the egg to the egg door? Will it
Yeah.
open?
Is
Wait, do you have the egg?
I have the egg.
He's always got it with him.
Present it to the door just to see.
I'm curious. Beyond closed door, and plinth with blue chisma. Is there any other like levers, mechanical, anything?
Nothing that you can see. No.
Have you touched the chisma yet?
No.
Go touch that chisma.
All right.
I would first show the egg to the egg door.
No, that's second. That's plan B. All right.
Show the egg to the egg door.
I touch blue chisma.
Okay, so you guys all walk into the temple room?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so this room looks a lot like the one from back down when you were in
But
Under the
there's
Sea.
no dragon.
But there is no keeper that you
Interesting.
know of.
No keeper.
Okay.
You walk in and you place your hand on the chisma. We're just going to call it the chisma now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other one, with the only name we knew it by was the green, and this is not the green.
No, this is
blue.
the blue.
Blue,
clearly.
Chisma sounds way cool.
It
So
is.
you
Well,
put
we
your
gotta-
hand on the blue chisma, and as you do, once again your back starts to burn. But instead of the murals around you kind of animating as they did before, you do see the murals, and it's just people. And as you touch the chisma, they all wings kind of spread from their back, and they all kind of fly up towards the ceiling, and then they start to swirl around above you, and then a light beams down in front of you, and then there before you, a celestial entity presents itself, and it is in the shape of a bear. And this bear is not just a bear, but it is celestial, so it is glowing. It's this bright blue, and it has this little hint of light around it, and it's almost constantly giving off light. And it begins to speak to you.
Now, is this a pre-recorded message, or is this actually something
Yeah.
that's sentient?
This is, well, you're going to find out.
Hi,
Starbringer, you have returned.
my name's Atlas.
Starbringer, yes.
Have I been here before?
Well, not this one, but one like you, yes. Starbringer. And as you are looking around, you actually notice that the mural, all throughout it, has your family's crest.
Oh.
So that 8-pointed star that is on the center of your shield, that the bear kind of like leans towards, is all around you.
Atlas, how did you not notice?
There's a lot to notice here.
That's true. I'm sorry.
Why are you here? If you are here, then the darkness must have returned. The shadows.
I'm here because of the Draconic prophecy.
Yes, of course.
I'm here because...
Have you brought the child?
The baby!
Are you talking about... this?
Yes and no. You have not hatched the child.
Well, I don't know how.
It must be returned.
To whom?
Not to whom, but to where?
Where does one hatch a dragon egg?
In a hatchery, but this is no ordinary dragon egg. It's not from here. Starbringer. You must return to the stars.
I've never been to the stars. How can I return to the stars?
You were not told of your part in this. Something has gone wrong. Listen, you must return that to Celestia. Upon doing so, you will be able to raise the dragon that can save this world. But I fear that it may be too late. I hear noises above. Something is coming. Ask what you must now.
What's your name?
What's your name?
I wanted to say Staven just out of reflex. Urson.
Ursa?
Yes.
How do we take this egg back to Celestia?
Yeah, how do I even get to Celestia?
You must travel through the plains.
Is that something I can do on horseback?
No.
No. You must find one who can cross dimensions. You have the ability, but you do not know the way.
Ursa? Hi, Rhaegar. Can we come?
Are these your wards?
Yes, they are my wards.
Your companions to help you along the way. Yes, they are equally important.
Don't you start right now.
Do you know of the person that we could talk to, this dimension hopper?
I do not know. I have been here for millennia.
Can you help me?
I cannot.
All right.
That is not my way. I am to help the child once the child is here. But without the child, I can do nothing.
How?
Wait. And then he disappears.
No.
And then behind you, you hear a voice. Well, this is quite convenient.
I pocket the egg real quick.
Thank you so much for getting us in here.
Do we recognize the voice?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
appreciate this quite a bit.
I don't think we recognize the voice.
And walking through right behind y'all is someone that the two of you would remember. The tiefling woman who plunged her hand into your chest.
Oh.
And behind her is Claw. Claw doesn't look quite like what he used to look like in that now he is fully clad in massive armor. I mean, he almost looks like a machine at this point. Like he is covered head to toe. He's got this massive mask with huge tusks sticking down from it. He turns to you. Little one, I look forward to tearing you in half and feasting on your entrails. And he charges at you.
Oh.
And he smashes you to the side.
Rhaegar, no!
Marakai instantly throws her sword at him. The warlock catches it in her hand, struggles with it a bit, and then shatters it.
Oh, damn.
She then fires a bolt of black energy at Marakai, who just gets launched backwards against the wall. To the two of you, she holds her hands out, and you hear screams in your head that are massive and loud. You can go ahead and try and make a will save.
And we've not seen the tiefling. It was just
You
those
two have not.
Yeah.
No.
15.
Okay.
A 4.
Yeah, so no, you are both just falling to the ground with these screams that are like kind of crippling you. Claw runs over to you, grabs you around the neck, and lifts you up.
Whoa.
You can try and do anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to freaking swing my hammer at his face.
Go ahead.
Okay. That's gonna be a 23 total.
You slam your hammer down on him and it just glances off. As he's got you in the air, he rips your armor off.
Ooh.
And,
Scandalo.
and holds you towards the tiefling so she can see your back. Okay.
Gregor, use your wings.
You mean Alice? That's how messed up you are. Yeah.
As we are on the ground, I start screaming, Ursa, can you do something?
Nothing happens.
Okay.
Nothing.
So,
As that's out, can I attempt to cast Moonbeam behind me at the two of them that are now looking at my back?
sure, you can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
I would also like to attempt to cast something.
You're incapable at the moment.
Okay.
If you're gonna let me, that one I don't actually have to roll for,
Right.
but I will. If
All
you
right.
want me.
So you cast Moonbeam.
Yeah.
And it sort of burns Claw. He's like, "Ah! Nemea, do something about that." And you see the tiefling. She just sort of like waves her hands, and then a shadow just blasts through your Moonbeam, and it disappears. Nemea, now that you know her name,
Nah, she's tree lady.
walks up behind you, and so right in front of her is the blue Cheesema, and you are kind of right here next to her. She pulls out a familiar box that you would have remembered from the very beginning of this campaign. She opens that box and pulls out the Blade of Balance.
Oh, shit.
Shit.
She places her hand on your back, and you can feel your dragon mark just start burning. And for the rest of y'all who can actually see, it's no longer a blinding white light, but it's actually dark. It's black. She holds up the Blade of Balance, turns it over, and stabs it into the Cheesema. And as she does, you hear massive rushing sounds coming into the temple room that you're in. Like all the wind is just being sucked into the Whispering Rock. The Cheesema, it's glowing brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter blue. And then a shockwave shoots out from it. The Cheesema changes color, and it's no longer blue, but it's sort of a sickening yellow, kind of like mucky kind of color. Blasts out from you, and you all feel kind of a stinging as it shoots out. And Marakai starts screaming, just absolute like bloody murder screaming. And you can see that she is changing color too. Oh. She's no longer the normal blue kind of purple that you're used to, but she's starting to turn green. It's almost as if her skin is like corroding up her body. Claw then throws you against the wall, turns to Nemea, is like, now do I get to play? And Nemea steps over you and says, we'll leave you alive because we need you. But your friends, well, they won't be so fortunate. And then right as she says that, you hear a huge explosion and you see kind of arrows firing in from behind. Nemea turns, then looks at Claw and says, let's go! Claw turns to you in particular and says, I'm not finished with you yet, little one. So then Nemea kind of holds her hand up, and you actually see it's sort of like a shadow appears in front of her, and the two of them walk into that shadow and disappear.
Damn.
Running into where you are, the shifters have come with their bows drawn. Where did they go? What has happened? What was that?
Are we still
Are you okay? No, as soon as they disappeared, y'all, the screaming has left your ears.
I run over to Christina.
What
Are
happened?
you okay?
I'm okay. What about Marikai? I look over to her.
She is still kind of like writhing back and forth. Like right now, it's essentially like now she's no longer screaming, but she's having a seizure.
Okay, I
You
turn
get
her to her
Marikai,
side.
I'll get Rhaegar.
I turn her to her side, and I'm just like trying to comfort her.
Yeah.
We have to get out of here quickly.
Yeah, that would be wise.
All right, so Dawn and the other shifters are helping you guys back out the temple. As you're leaving, you notice along the walls stony outcroppings that now start to kind of push forward, and they actually are rock elementals that have kind of fallen out of the walls. Oh. And as they lift themselves up, the rock faces on them start to melt away, and they're kind of oozing as they're kind of clawing towards you and then perishing before you.
Oh my god.
You race up to the top, and what you see above you is an airship firing all kinds of explosives at the rock, but not quite at the rock. There is a smaller airship that you would recognize belonging to House Farland.
Oh.
Jetting away.
Okay.
You see all these warriors on top of griffins and hippogriffs kind of like chasing after it, kind of throwing things at it. From up on top of the airship, you hear a familiar voice. Hey guys! They made me the pilot of your ship! We gotta get out of here though! They said you guys need help or something!
Yeah! Oh!
And then, so a rope ladder kind of falls down before you guys. And you're able to climb back up on there. And on this ship, you see Dregus, who is currently flying the ship, and Lordrum.
Do the shifters come with us at all?
Yeah, so they all get on the ship. You're all leaving. Because as you're looking down below, you see the Whispering Rock is kind of crumbling in on itself. Also on the ship is Gwen. And Gwen says, okay, so, don't be mad, but when the goblins came back and you guys didn't, I got a little worried, so I called your friend, and he got here as soon as he possibly could, and that's why we're here, and I'm glad I did, because, oh my god, you guys were, gonna die or something, and jeez. Atlas, are you okay?
Yeah, almost died. Well, everyone else almost died.
Gwen, can we get some help from Marikai? And, I'm holding her, trying to make sure.
Oh my god, get her inside,
Yeah.
Now, you guys are on the airship, flying away back towards Stormhome, and it's starting to become dawn, right? Daybreak is happening before you. And as you are heading back towards Stormhome, because Lordship's that's where we're heading, you look back at the forest, and you see that the whole forest is now decaying and is essentially entirely gone. It's now just a heaping dead mass all throughout the entirety of the Whispering Wood. You can see bones of animals that have been, just absolutely decimated. You see trees that are devoid of all of their life. There's muck everywhere pouring in, rivers down into the canyons and whatnot. The entire forest has been destroyed.
I turn to Brittany and say, I don't think you guys are going to be able to put on your show anymore. And I think Askelios' tourism industry might be dead now.
Oh god, what about the people of Askelios?
So as you flying overhead, you look over and you do see Askelios. It doesn't look like Askelios itself is destroyed, but you can certainly see the rot creeping towards that direction.
Towards it.
That's no good.
Yeah.
And that is where we're going to end Season 1
Whoa!
of Hero Squad.
I hope you enjoyed that first season of Hero Squad, and we'll be back with Hero Squad Season 2 soon, but not without the generosity of our amazing community. If you guys would like to contribute like all of these incredible people have, then head on over to patreon.com/stumped and help us make Season 2 even bigger and better than ever. Thanks a lot for your guys' support, and I'll see you again soon.